So, very good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. I'm Dr. Ruhi Agarwala, co founder of Functional Medicine Clinic. So, today's workshop is all about sharing our experience, our knowledge that we have gained over the last few years when it comes to autism and related conditions. So, for any parent, when a child is diagnosed with autism, it definitely comes as a shock that, why my child? What do I do now? And then when you start looking for help, the first thing that comes is, of course, you do therapies for your child. And you start with therapies. Some of you see improvement, while some of you don't. Kind of, it comes to a plateau where nothing is improving any further. And then, of course, there is difficulty in accepting the diagnosis itself, and whether the child will be like this throughout life. So, for all the parents here who are attending today's workshop, we want you to understand what are the reasons behind your child being on the spectrum. There are list of causes that can cause your child to be autistic. Now, many times a child is born completely normal. He's normal, he or she is normal until 15 months, 18 months, and then you see that the child starts regressing. So, definitely, there are contributing factors which have led to this diagnosis. So, we will be talking a lot about various root causes which can contribute to this, various triggers that can contribute to this, and then how you can start your child's recovery journey. What is that you need to work on? And we'll also share some of the experiences we had with various children that we have worked over the last few years. And we will open up for questions later. So, with that note, I'll welcome Dr. Ashwani Garg. He's also co founder of Functional Medicine Clinic, and he has been leading the program that we conduct for learning disorders for neurodevelopmental conditions. So, over to you, Dr. Ashwani.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. Good evening, everyone. I'll start with the short presentation so idea is just to ensure that as a parent, you understand the problem better. Now, if as a parent, we understand the problem better, there are much higher chances that we will be able to resolve it. And of course, it's a long journey. It's not a short journey. It takes a lot of time, effort, etc. But then if as a parent, we understand the problem better, then we understand the solution better, and we implement in the right fashion for a long enough time, there comes a possibility that we are making our child better and better and better, and there comes a time when there are no more symptoms, and then if there are no more symptoms, then we can get to a situation where we can drop the diagnosis. Now, first thing first, the number of children suffering from the problem is unfortunately increasing rampantly, right? 1 in 100, this is the number in India, but the US number is 1 in 30. I'm sure India is no less than US, unfortunately, but then it just may be a lack of the data. So that means almost every third child is having some problems or being diagnosed with some problems, right? 60 years back, 80 years back, 100 years back, in fact, 20 years back, if you look at it, when you and me were children, we could hardly find anybody, or it was a rare of the rarest, rare of the rarest. Today, it is just so become common, right? So we cannot just simply say that it is a genetic problem because there is no evidence to prove that the human genome has gone bad in the last 20, 30, 100, 200 years. No such thing. And we humans have been there for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years on this earth. But how come our genetics can be so poor? It cannot be the case. It's just lack of information and laziness on the side of healthcare professionals when we say that it is a genetic problem. There's so much more happening beyond genetics. So this is one very important key takeaway I want to, as a parent, take it, that it is not just purely genetic, may be a smaller, tiny component of it. There are beyond genetic, there's so much happening in the body which we can take care and we can resolve the condition to a greater extent. So I want you to take it very seriously, that you just don't only put the blame on the genes. Oh, I have it, my family has it, or somebody else has it. It does not mean that your child should also have it. Or in fact, most of the time, child has the problem, but none of even the extended family has the problem. So it cannot be just called that as a genetic problem. And sometimes we end up running with some test, and then this non-conclusive genetic test, but we still end up saying, okay, because of genetics. No. Second, very important aspect to understand, that it is not just some behavioral problem in the child. The child is biting, pinching, hitting, self-biting, self-hitting, spitting, rolling on the bed, anxiety, crying, laughing without a reason, etc. List is very long. That this is some level of a behavioral problem, and we can fix it through behavioral therapy. It's not like that. It is not just only a behavioral problem. There's a pathology leading to the behavior. The problem that child is exhibiting, there is a underlying pathology in the body. That is what we have to understand. That is why sometimes you try as hard as you can to correct the behavior. It is not going anywhere, simply because there's something deep inside the body which is exhibiting, which is stemming from that problem as a behavior. So unless we go deeper, find out what is the problem, and we fix the problem, this problem is not going anywhere. It can subside for some time, it comes back, it comes back. Right? So definition itself is incomplete, that this is some behavioral problem. There's so much more happening beyond behavior in our children. Okay. Now, beyond this behavioral issues, if we look at them, they have skin problems, they have breathing difficulties sometimes, they have asthma sometimes they are scratching their penis and vaginas, sometimes they have inner itching, sometimes they have adenoids, sometimes they have tonsillitis, lymph nodes are enlarged. Some of these children have excess eating of the food, some of them they don't eat at all, very picky eaters. So it just not only a brain which is only involved. If you look at it, almost all systems of the body, they frequently get sick, they get fever, they get tired, their muscle tone is weak. So it's just not only behavior problem, not just only problem in the brain, but it's a problem in the whole body. So it's a multi-system disorder, not just in the brain, not just a behavior, not genetics. It's important as a parent, because when you're trying to do any therapy, any kind of therapy, doesn't matter what you're trying to do, don't try to only understand the solution. First, understand the problem. Then we will see what solutioning we can do to fix the problem. If we don't know the problem, sometime it can fit into the solution can fit into it, sometime it might not fit. So as a parent, you need to understand the problem better. So it's not just a genetic problem, not just a behavioral problem, not just a brain problem. It's a multi-system disorder. Okay. And most of the behaviors, most of the lack of skill in child is because there is something wrong in their body. And we have to fix that to take the child out of the problem. Luckily, at least because of this such a multifactorial problem, so much is happening. At least we started calling it a multi-spectrum disorder. We are not treating it yet. At least definition has gotten a little better. That we started naming as a autism spectrum disorder. So there's multiple things happening. Treatment, it's still that we say, okay, do therapy. But there is a metabolic disorder, there's an immune disorder, there's a neuroinflammation, the hormonal system is impacted, their digestion is impacted, their sensory input is impacted, there's inflammation, seizures, epilepsy, there's connective tissue disorder, hypotonia, etc. And you see, again, the point I'm trying to make is almost all systems of the body are impacted, not just tiny this and that. Right now, if these are the problems in the body, because of these problems, child is exhibiting so many behaviors, abnormal behaviors, or abnormal social behaviors, or lack of skills, or whatever they are exhibiting, we have to go to the problem. Where is the problem? Right? If sensory issues are there, why sensory issues are there? Right? If child cannot tolerate certain frequencies of the sound, they close their ears. Why is it happening? What is neuroinflammation that is playing the role there, causing they closing their ears when they exposed to certain frequencies of the sound? What is the reason behind each of their behavior? This is what we have to understand, right? So once we understand what is the root cause behind each of their behaviors, each of their lack of the skills, their cognition is not good, their language is not good, their communication is not good, whatever it may be, what is behind it. And then we start addressing them. Then we start seeing that child is losing bad behavior, start gaining skills. It's a long journey. It's not a quick fix. There cannot be a quick fix. This is as simple as that. If whatever anybody is saying, I can fix it in 3 months, not possible. It's a long journey. Brain health repairs time. But in our children, almost all systems of the body are involved. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of things we have to do for them to fix it. Now, if we really look into literature, now these pieces of the puzzle are not in one paper or one publication. But if you look at the literature, in bits and pieces, you will find all this information that I am saying. But you really have to dig deeper to pick up the nuances in the literature, right? First and foremost, these children, they have a lot of inflammation and they have a lot of autoimmune processes going on. They have different kind of autoantibodies present in the body, affecting different systems. But at least for the brain, there could be antibodies against 5-HT receptors, against the myelin sheath. Okay, so likewise, there are multiple autoantibodies affecting their at least the brain. Other systems are also involved. Now, if brain is being inflamed, there's autoimmune processes going on in the brain. Because of that, language impaired, because of that, cognition is impaired, because that comprehension is impaired. All the skills are impaired because brain is not fully active, developed. Rather, there's a process going on which is doing a damage. Now, if that is the case, and we say, okay, we do a therapy, behavioral therapy, and trying to fix it, it's not happening. There's a pathology in the brain. Now, why it is happening? Because the immune system is dysregulated. Immune system is now in a hyperinflammation state. The inflammation in the body, in the brain, causing a lot of damage. And when they have autoimmunity, they have inflammation at the same time, their immune system is also compromised. This immune system is very, very poor. That is why they have so many infections in the body, chronic infections in the body. They frequently get sick, viral infections, etc. But very important, they have very tough infections, Lyme co-infection, yeast infection, parasitic infection, Clostridium infection. Loads and loads of infections are there in their body. And if you look at many of their behaviors, many of their symptoms, that actually you can trace back to these infections. For example, toe walking is a common thing. Everybody understands toe walking. Now, toe walking is not a behavioral problem. Now, toe walking happens because child is having a fungal infection, yeast infection, which makes a lot of oxalates. And these oxalates are crystalline particles. They go deposit in under the feet. And when the child is walking, it gives them pain. Okay. Now, because of the pain due to oxalate, which is due to the fungal yeast infections, the child is having a toe walk. Now, see, each symptom you can trace it back to the root cause. And one of the root cause behind toe walking could be yeast and fungal infection. You control these infections, you eliminate the oxalates, so walking will start getting better. Now, lot of time child has lot of biting, huge biting problem, teeth grinding, over hunger, always hungry. That could be because of the heavy parasitic infestation, infestation. So likewise, like I said, the multiple infections, multiple problems, and that is causing a different behaviors. The digestion is compromised and their microbiota is also altered. There's more dysbiotic microflora, which means there are more infectious microorganisms in the intestines in the body and less of the healthy microbes. Thereby, a lot of the systems are compromised. Their mitochondria, their metabolic disorder is there. The mitochondria is unhealthy. The size, the quality, the number of the mitochondria in each cell is compromised. If that is the case, we have to work on the mitochondria. They have loads of toxins in the body. Now, some of these toxins we can test, some of these we cannot, but at least what the ones we are testing, lead is a very big culprit. Aluminium is another big culprit. Arsenic is another big culprit. Likewise, there are so many metals. Some of them, like I said, we can test, some we cannot, but they play a major role in their pathology. These metals are immunotoxic. These metals are neurotoxic. And when you look at these children, you test nutrition is depleted. Okay. Now this is a growing body. Body has to make immune system. Body has to bring new brain cells, etc., etc., etc. But their nutrition is almost depleted. The proteins are depleted. The minerals and vitamins are depleted. One of the reasons simply because they're picky eater and all that. Another reason is they have a lot of infections and they're not able to digest their food. So a child doesn't get what it wants, thereby growth can be impacted. The body might be dehydrated. The thyroid gland might be hypothyroid. The liver is not doing okay. And of course, many of these children have a sleep disorder. They don't sleep well, right? Now, sleep is very important for our repair system, our growth. Our growth hormone production also depends on our sleep and how much sun we get. Now, you see, almost all systems of the body are compromised. So much problem is happening. And all of that lead to demyelination and neurodegeneration of the brain also. Okay. So you see so much is going on in the body. It's just not that thinking there is some behavior problem I'm trying to fix. Or child is not speaking, I can put some words in them and they will start, parroting it. It's not happening. Now, autoimmunity in ASD, one of the problem could be called as PANDAS, which is called pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders associated with streptococcal infection. Of course, this is just one part of the whole autoimmune cascade, right? Now, when children have this problem, their perception, their processing response can be poor, their memory retrieval can be poor, their attention focus can be poor, their sensory sights, hearing, touch, smell, taste can be poor, their cognition can be poor. They might be they might have self-stimulatory behaviors, okay, irritability, aggression, sensory issues. Now you see, a lot of these problems, these children have, and one of the reason could be autoimmune driven process caused by the streptococcal infections. That now, at least technically, we call it as PANDAS. So just not genetic, not just behavior, not just in the brain. So much is happening. So we really, as a parent, has to understand how deep is the problem, so that you start working with one practitioner, you do enough time with the practitioner, so that as long as you see that a practitioner is doing the right things for your child. But make sure you stick around for a long enough time. Don't think that 3 months I can fix it. If it doesn't get better, I go to another one. Don't do that. We lose time in the process. Okay, it is going to take time because so much is happening. So much is the problem. Now, when we know these are the problems, so much is happening in the body, then it's a lot of work we have to do to resolve the problem. Luckily, we have so many tools. It's not that we don't know what to do about it. Just that we have to put all the things together. Every stage of repair will need different tools, right? We start with the basic. circadian biology. Get them a lot of sun, get them a lot of darkness after sun. Then make sure you remove the bad food, gluten, dairy, sugars, white rice, refined oils, anything refined, anything hybrid, you take it out and start nourishing them with a good food. Millets, quinoa, brown rice, red rice, black rice, right? Camel milk, goat milk, coconut milk. So many options are there. Don't get stuck with, okay, I am from Bengal, I will only give white rice. Now, brain has to become healthy. Brain is not made of the white rice. Okay, if I'm from Punjab, no, I will only give wheat. Our child is having a problem at this given point of time. Wheat can be a problem to the child. We have to put it off. Now, because when we look at the child, we see that hydration is compromised. It's not only amount of water that you're drinking will decide the hydration. It's also the quality. How much salt the water has. Salt means minerals, not the sodium chloride. So the good quality water should be alkaline, structured. It should have minerals, and more aggressive waters are called DDW, deuterium depleted water, coherent water, hydrogen water. So much is available now. Then we have to start working on gut microbiota, modulation of the microbiota. Simple terms, infections has to be taken out and we have to reinstall healthy microbes. Antiparasitics, antifungals, herbs, combination, etc., to remove these infections. And you can use probiotics, prebiotics. Probiotics from the supplementation, prebiotic can come from the food, can come also from the supplementation. Sometimes you have to do a combination of things because it's not easy. But the point is, we have to do what we have to do to make sure it happens over a period of time. If you test them, if liver is not okay, you fix it. If your thyroid is not okay, you fix it. If nourishment is compromised, you nourish the body, either from food or a combination of food with supplements. Then basics is done, you see some growth, then you get into more nitty-gritties. You start augmenting mitochondria. The mitochondria, basic, like I said, nutrition. Second level, specialized supplements for the mitochondria. D-ribose, CoQ10, carnosine, lipoic acid, glutathione, magnesium, zinc, all the necessary things which are required anyways in the body, also required for the mitochondria. You detox the body. Now, detox can happen at multiple levels. Just ensuring the gut is clean is also detox. Ensuring liver is decongested is also detox. Sometimes we have to go to the level of detoxification at the cell level. Cell might be holding on to a lot of toxins. Okay, so we have to push the toxins intercellularly out of the body, and heavy metals, microplastics, etc., pesticides, steroids, hormones, right? There's a lot of work is done to detoxify to the body over a period of time. You cannot just push them out at one shot, right? So this sets a stage for repairing and regeneration. See, my body is healthy, then only my brain will grow and repair and regenerate. If rest of the body is healthy, how will the brain will be healthy? So I set a stage for repair and regeneration. Okay, and so of course, a child is growing, the growth also has to happen, right? Then, if this much basic is working, fantastic. But sometimes this basic is not enough. Some children have more problem. Some children have less problem. Less problem, this much is good enough. They will start recovering. But some children might need extra. They have the problem is much more deeper. Then you can go aggressive more over a period of time. Not that everything has to go to at once. Scalar detox, photobiomodulation, DDW, fecal transplant, ozone therapy, stem cells, exosomes, plasmalogens, peptide therapy. Now, peptides are for the liver, peptide for kidney, peptide for immune system, peptide for brain. Whatever the problem is, not that we have to do everything. We keep monitoring where is the problem based on the symptoms, based on the markers. Then we decide what is required over a period of time. So it's a lot of complicated work that we have to do over a period of time. So as a parent, you need to understand these nuances. Okay. Now, form and shape of the solution can be different. You can go to Ayurveda, you can go to homeopathy, you can go to functional medicine, you can go to allopathy, whatever. That does not matter. It's just all that requires is the doctor, is the practitioner, healthcare practitioner covering all the nuances of the problem. If there are 10 problems, somebody only looking at two problems, somebody only looking at five problems, it will not fix the problem. You always has to look at all the problems. Then only we will get to the solution. Okay. Sometimes it can take a lot of effort, but I'm assure you, we continue our journey, we continue doing what it needs to be done over a period of time, slowly, gradually, we will get there. Child will keep dropping their problems, keep gaining their skills because brain is getting healthier, body is getting healthier. It's not that we are treating autism per se, we are treating autism or ADHD. We're just trying to make their body healthy. That's all the goal. And body knows how to fix itself. Body has all the ability and the intelligence to fix itself. It just has to create those best conditions for it to get better. Right? So Dr. Ruhi, you can take it from here.
Sure. Thank you. So, Dr. Ashwani has taken all of you through, the various contributing factors that can contribute to autism and related condition, and then what is that we need to work on. Now, how do we work on so many things together, right? So, just for all of you to understand what that would be like, so I'll just share my screen. So, what is very important is that we get all the information about your child. So a lot of information is taken with the help of a detailed questionnaire where we want to understand not just about the behavioral issues, but we need to understand what are the gut health, what is your child's gut health, what is the sleep like, if there are any allergies, so various things, because everything is so interconnected. The liver health, the gut health, the sleep, um, the immune system reacting, all of these are so connected. So a very detailed history is very important for us to understand what the child is going through, and then accordingly we have to advise investigations which will help us identify, connect those dots with the sign and symptoms. So a detailed understanding of the sign and symptoms along with investigations where we can get information about the about various organ function, about the inflammatory markers, about heavy metals, about the gut dysbiosis, candida overgrowth, mitochondrial health, the complete vitamin profile, minerals, etc. So once all this information is there, then we can do a root cause analysis to identify what is at play in this particular child, whether it's the heavy metals, um, the the gut infections, there are deficiencies, there is the liver needs support or the kidney needs support. So all of these can be identified with the help of information that we get from a detailed questionnaire and the sign and symptoms. Now, so once the root cause analysis is done, then a detailed treatment plan can be designed where we can use various tools to address these root causes. Now, what will be these tools like? So the first and the foremost is the diet. That's a basic thing to start with. We have to start with eliminating everything that's inflammatory and then add things which are non-inflammatory and will help in the recovery process. So there will be a lot of focus on the diet aspect, and a lot of nuances are there. So for instance, um, when gluten is eliminated, the most easiest thing that is added by most parents is rice, white rice. But then that is detrimental. So we have to choose the right kind of alternative when we are removing gluten. So it has to be gluten-free flours, which can be millet-based. It can be millets in place of rice. So a lot of those options have to be included, along with a lot of veggies, cut down on the high glycemic fruits. So a lot of those things will be focused on. Then, of course, a lot of lifestyle changes. And here, it's not just about basic lifestyle changes, but for example, the kind of light your child is under all the time, the kind of technologies that a child is exposed to. A lot of focus will be on all of that. Then comes nutraceuticals. Now, nutraceuticals to address the deficiencies, to address the gut health, to support the liver, etc., etc. Now, these supplements are for a certain period of time until we address why it's needed. And these are very safe. Parents often have a question: are the supplements safe? My child is small. Will he or she be able to take these supplements? Each supplement is selected based on the need of the child. And there, for a certain period of time, there are absolutely no side effects, and everything is very carefully chosen and given for that specific child. And then, of course, the consultation happens where you are explained everything. Now, to help the parents implement the plan better, understand the logic behind everything that has been advised, we do a lot of empowerment. So these are education sessions for parents, where parents have to take out time and attend these live sessions that Dr. Ashwini conducts, so that you can understand why we have, for example, why we've advised this particular diet, why these lifestyle changes are advised, what is the role of the gut health, how can you improve the mitochondrial health, uh, why these kind of tests are advised, why these are kind of supplements are advised. So the live sessions will help parents to understand the logic, the reasoning behind uh, the guidelines that has been given. And it's also an opportunity for parents to interact directly with Dr. Ashwini during these live session and ask your questions. Apart from that, of course, you will have support on WhatsApp anytime that you need help. So that's there. So it's a very collaborative approach. Only us giving a treatment plan will not help. Parents have to be very actively involved in this entire process. And really, here, parents play a very instrumental role in really helping their child recover. We can only guide, we can make, will make the best treatment plan for the child, but end of the day, it's the parents who can ensure that you implement the plan to the T and get your child out of this diagnosis. So with that, of course, if you check this page of ours, you will see a lot of testimonials there, a lot of parents who had shared their journey with us. So with that, we will open up for questions. Parents who want to ask questions, you can raise your hand and my team will assign you a token number according to sequence, and then you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi.
Please give me a second. I'll just allow you. All right. Ninita, you can ask your question, please.
Yeah, like in the presentation, I saw that like many those who are those who are in the spectrum, like they face many challenges. But my kid has only issues. He don't have peer group interaction, and he don't have much like his sleeping pattern is good. He's not much foodie. Like from the beginning, I didn't even give him the sugar, all the sugar or processed food. I didn't introduce him anything. Like only thing is, he don't have a like as he's preterm baby, he has everything late. Like he started walking late. Like everything is late. My question is, I have neurofibroid. Because of this, he may affect. He may faces this issue because he's not hyper or he's not hypo. Mostly he's not the problematic child. His sleeping pattern is good. He's not. When I take him out, I don't feel like he's unique. Like he does everything normal. But only thing is, everything is late. He still no, he didn't start even a word. And because of this NF condition, because I have neurofibroma, because of this, he affected, like he is having this delay, or like he too have the capillate spots, freckle spots.
But Nimita, I am not sure whether it is only linked to the neurofibroma. I don't have the right answer for it, but yes, maybe some contributing factors, but it's fine. We will still support the child and help him grow out of it.
Yeah, like because I was concerned about this, because like as he told, he do this finger flickering when he gets angry. He never do all the time. Only he gets angry, he'll do this finger flickering. But otherwise, he looks normal. But I felt personally, because of this NF or neurofibroma condition, he may face these delays.
No. So again, like I said, there are so many children without their mother having a big problem, they still have a problem, right? This
Mm.
might be one of the contributing, not the whole problem. So stop blaming yourself for this condition. Rather, I think it's also important to focus on the solution rather than going back to where did it all started. We don't have a time machine to go back in the past and fix it, right? Whatever
Yeah.
it is today, let us work on the solution. Let us understand the problem. Now, we must have tested your child and done all the investigations, and then we know these are the issues. I'm sure as we fix that, he will come out of that. So all that matters.
Yeah, but like only thing is, now I just avoided all the white based foods, like white rice, because I stopped it completely. I never introduced in this processed food, so I don't face this issue. Like only thing I have to stop means this white rice and gluten free product. Now he's okay with the millet food also. And one more doubt, doctor. How long these supplements should be taken? Like after this 3 months of course, like how long he should take?
We'll retest, and if a demand is there, we'll have to continue. If demand is not there, so it test will confirm, right?
Okay, 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 doctor. My doubt is over. Thank you.
All right. Rajat, you can ask your question. Rajat, are you there? All right. Devarsh, you can ask.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, myself Rajat Kumar Sahu. Actually, my son is suffering from gut issues. Okay. Uh, he faced a lot of problems during stool passing. That's why I want to know. Yeah, yeah. I think that it may be a major issue for its autism. So I want to know that actually during this 3 months course, can it be curable 100%, ma'am?
See, Rajat, gut is a complex issue. Okay. Now, sometimes it's a less problem. Then 3 months is enough. Sometimes a lot of problem. Then it might take a longer period of time. Infections are so tough, which is causing a lot of bloating. Because of that, there's a lot of GERD. It can take little extra. So only when we start investigating, when we start treatment, we will know how much time it will take. But can we fix it? Yes, we can fix it.
Uh, it may be a major issue, right, sir?
It is a yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay. No issue, sir. Thank you.
Devarsh, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello, madam.
All right. Sumit, you can ask your question.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, madam.
सर
Yes, go on.
सर मैं देवांश की मदर बोल रही हूँ। और सर इसको एक तो गुस्सा बहुत आता है सर, आजकल इतना आता है कि पहले तो बैठे बैठे तो नहीं मारता था, मतलब कोई इसको कुछ कहे तो मारता था, लेकिन अब ये बहुत ज्यादा बैठे आए दिन बैठे बैठे मारने लग गए। स्कूल में बच्चे से डरने लग गए हैं सर,
Right.
किसी के पास जाकर बैठ गया और उसको मार दिया।
राइट तो ये प्रॉब्लम है अपने बच्चों में। एक तो इनका जो सिंपथी इम्पथी का प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि इनका ऑक्सीटोसिन लेवल लो है। दूसरा, इनके अंदर में खुद का ही इतनी इन्फ्लेमेशन के चलते खुद में ट्रबल इतनी ज्यादा है, तो देयर इज मोर एंगर. सी, व्हेन योर हेल्थ इज अनवेल, यू विल हैव मोर एंगर. दिस इज नेचुरल. तो अपने बच्चों में वो प्रॉब्लम है, तो थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. धीरे धीरे इट गेट्स बेटर.
सर तो मैं देते हुए बट हर मतलब स्पीच आया, पर ये नहीं कि हमने कहा देवाशी बोलो तो बोल दिया, बस खुद से अगर बोलना है तो बोलेगा. कमांडिंग फॉलो में नहीं आ रहा है सर. कमांडिंग फॉलो अपनी जो चीजें पसंद की, दो तीन चीजें बस, उसी में कमांडिंग फॉलो करेगा, बाकी किसी और बात में कमांड फॉलो नहीं करेगा.
ऐसा है कि ब्रेन का रिपेयर होने में महीनों से साल लगते हैं, है ना. वो ऐसा नहीं एकदम से बन गया नया
हम्म,
ब्रेन. धीरे धीरे
नहीं
पुराना सेल जाएगा, नया सेल आएगा, उसके हिसाब से उसका कॉरस्पॉन्डिंगली उसका एबिलिटीज आएगा. हम्म? तो थोड़ा समय लगता है इन पूरे प्रोसेसेस में.
और आजकल ये सर है ना, बच्चों के स्कूल में टिफिन खोलने लग गया. अब इसको ये खाना खा भाता नहीं है क्या है, बोर होने लग गया. तो मैम बड़ा ध्यान रखती है, बस एक आधी बार इसने एक बच्चे के एक दो बाइट खा लिए तो कोई ऐसा दिक्कत तो नहीं है ना सर.
ये ठीक है. देखिए, यू डूइंग योर बेस्ट, दैट्स ऑल दैट मैटर्स. आप क्या कर सकते हैं.
मैं जैसे एक बार कंफर्मली पूछ लूं कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं था. अब यहाँ बच्चे मैम ने पकड़ लिया टिफिन, क्योंकि मैंने कह रखा है, पूरा सब बता रखा है स्कूल में, बट इसने जितने में एक आधी बाइट खा लिया बच्चे के टिफिन का.
ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम.
ठीक है सर. बाकी अभी हेयर टेस्टिंग के लिए गए हुए हैं इसका.
ठीक है जी, ठीक.
ठीक है सर.
Sumit, you can unmute and ask.
Yeah. Good evening. I would like to understand how to stop skin picking. My son tends to do that over his hands and legs at times. So
The
he
question
tries
is how
pick
to
it.
stop picky eating, is what you're saying?
No, skin. So what he does is, with his nails, he
Skin
tries
picking.
to pick, kind of injure himself, trying to scratch, and then it becomes like a small bruise over a period of time.
So we have to understand, as I mentioned, one of the major reason they have is a chronic infection, especially fungal, parasitic, yeast infections. And these infections will cause histaminic reactions, thereby itching will be there. And sometimes itching so much that they can scratch and bleed them out. So again, we have to go back to the problem. What is the problem? And we'll solve the problem. So that this, as a consequence, there's no histamine reaction, no itching. Why will the child prick?
But is there any particular reason for it? Like why they do this?
That's what I
That
said.
out of
Histamine reaction because of the infections in the body.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Swapna, you can unmute and ask. Swapna, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Hi,
please.
sir. Good evening. Thank you so much for your session. I understand so much, but I have a few questions. Recently, we got we are on fourth month plan, sir. You guys doctors told us to use that plasma gen capsules and memory peptide and all. You explained. I got so much information. We are using plasma gen. She's understanding levels and some more improvements are there, but she's more hyper than previous, and she used to listen to us before. Now she's not listening to us. She's understanding more and doing more hyper, sir.
So
And her metal levels also high, like lead, as you said, like lead levels and aluminum levels are more high. In recently we did
right,
SMT test also.
right, right,
So how
right,
long it takes to it,
right,
I
right.
don't know, sir. I'm just asking how long it takes to
Yeah,
reduce that levels.
correct. Now, these toxic metals can be deposited in the brain, in the tissues, in the bones, anywhere. How will they come out of the body? They will come to the blood before it goes out of the body. So when it is being chelated, initially levels can go up before it goes down. And depending on how much is the problem, how much in the bone, how much in the tissues, we don't know. Nobody knows, right? There's no precise test for it. So we continue till it gets better.
So we
Now,
have to do the test again, sir, to...
correct.
Oh,
Every
okay.
3 months. Yes, yes. Now the question is hyperactivity. Now there are two possibilities. One is child is becoming more smarter, and as a consequence, the child is becoming more naughty, which is fair, which is fine. That's how the child should be. Now, sometimes child can be hyper simply because there is more histaminic reactions because of the die off. Now
Yeah,
that
she had
as the
so much
infection will
itching, as
reduce,
you said, sir. Itching and
correct.
like, and she had antifungal infections also there. Doctor told me.
Yeah. So it will get better. Make sure you're using some once in a while. If you need, you can use antihistaminic, optihistamine powder, citizen. Those you can discuss with the assigned doctor, and we can continue doing some of these things so that histaminic reactions are reduced.
So weekly, how many times I can use it, sir? Like
Need basis. Once, 1 or 2, 3, how much ever is required, so that child is okay.
okay, I'll ask the doctor, sir. So this metal
Yeah.
detoxification, I'm using that metal hot drops, sir. So if I continue these 3 months or 4 months, so I mean, it will reduce the metal, I mean, lead and aluminum levels. We can see
Correct. It should
any
be.
improvements,
Yes.
sir? Because I want to do stem cell therapy also. I already interested. I put a post on it. That they told me to wait until it reduce the
Yeah.
metal level toxicity and all. So I'm waiting for it, sir. We are interested, but you guys have told us to wait.
Correct. No, it's just a better time. We clean the body, then we put stem cells. It will have better impact.
Okay, sir. Hopefully it will reduce within 3 months of time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Priyanka, you can go ahead and ask. Okay.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Anji, good evening.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask 2, 3 queries. Right now, she is on the 3rd month of plan, like the antifungal regime. But whenever we are giving her nystatin, like she is a very sensitive child. She is having cold, cough, and fever, and it's not going on. So what to do for that? And along with this, she is still passing motions with undigested food particles. So is it the cause that she's not chewing the food properly still? Maybe it is responsible for it, or what is the cause behind it?
As mitochondria will get better, chewing will get better. If chewing is not happening, digestion is not happening, there is undigested food in the stool. So you can give digestive enzymes with the meal so that some digestion will happen. Meanwhile, we are trying to fix it. Now, if nystatin is causing a reaction, that means infection load is heavy.
Okay, then.
You can just reduce the dose. You can half the dose, and slowly, gradually, we can remove the infection from the body.
Okay.
Now, you say frequently sick, that's what I mentioned. These children have a very, very poor immune system. So slowly, gradually, we will improve the immune system also, right? So we can immunotherapy in the future if required. I mean, sometimes, let's say, like I said, basics. If we do a lot of sunlight, a lot of darkness after sunset, good food, nourishment.
Yeah, all that I'm falling to the T.
Correct, fantastic. I'm saying sometimes this is enough. It takes time, right? It is not an overnight journey. Sometimes it
Obviously.
6 months it gets better. If it doesn't get better, immune system doesn't get better even after doing all the basics, then we can do immunotherapy.
Okay, and one more thing that see, after protein, like after this protein problem powders and all, I'm seeing that her weight gain is like she has gained a good amount of weight. So, and the urination is also is also more of yellowish color, even though there is not much of dehydration that I'm noticing, because she is
Yellow
drinking
color,
enough water.
B vitamins, if we might be giving, that can give yellow coloration.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is there in her multivitamin thing.
Correct. Protein powder will not put on weight. Actually, if you go on a protein diet and fat diet, you lose weight. But inflammation in the body can cause weight gain. So it's not that problem is sorted, right? We're still juggling with it. So give it more time, it will settle down.
So it's not a good sign to gain weight.
Fair point, but then it takes time to fix the inflammation, autoimmunity in the body.
Okay. And regarding this fecal microbiota transfer, I have a talk with Dr. Chandrasekhar also. He was telling to do this food intolerance test and all. So, what is your perspective? Like when she will be ready for that and all?
See, now we have to understand one thing, that maybe it's not Chandra is not maybe thinking on those lines, but at least I think on those lines. If my immune system is bad, it's my microbiome, it can get disrupted again also. Even though it's a cross thing, your microbiome will keep your immune system intact. But if heavy metals are there in the body, which are immunotoxic, which will anyways impact the immune system in a negative way, then even though you have transplanted a good microbiota, it can again go back to the bad. So it's just like stem cells. Before we place stem cells or microbiome, we want to ensure the body is clean, nourishment is there.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So, like at least a round of heavy metal cleaning should be done. But one more thing, that chelation is it will again rob off various minerals and all from the
Yeah.
body, na?
We can
Very
remineralize them.
chilling.
We can put the reminerals, we can remineralize it, but you have to remove the toxic waste here. It is not easy to pull them out. Sometimes chelation is important. Sometimes without it, it's not happening. What do you do then?
Okay. And zeolite, why zeolite is not a good option here in terms of
I'm
chelation?
not saying it is not a good option. You can try it. It's a binder. It might work, might not work. Chelation is also a binder, much powerful binder.
Yeah, EDTA or DMSA kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so nowadays, before 2-3 days only, there's much sensation of this leucovorin thing.
It's only a vitamin B9. There's no sensation. It was there also. Maybe one Facebook page does not mean it's a sensation. Now, if there's autoimmunity and antibodies against the folate receptors, then you pump in a lot of the B9. Some of the B9 will stick to the receptors.
Okay.
Right? But if you don't have those receptor antibodies and you pump in too much of B9, it can cause irritability. It can cause hyperactivity also.
Okay.
So rather, I would work on the autoimmunity. Now, you have to understand, autoimmunity you still has to fix. B9 is only a B vitamin. Just because
it's polinic acid. Yeah.
it's only a few receptors available, you pump in a lot of B9. It might work, might not work. It's a good thing, but it's overdosing. It's not always a good idea.
Okay. And just last one. Just wanted to know your view on oxytocin sprays and how they are applicable and all.
So again, there is no objective way to assess that because there's no testing happening whether the child has oxytocin or not. But children with poor social interaction, sympathy, empathy problems, they typically have low oxytocin. In that case, we can use oxytocin, but unfortunately in India, we don't have it available.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks, done.
All right. Reshma, are you there?
Hi, yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Hi, Dr. Garg. Thanks. This session was indeed quite informative. I have a couple of questions. One, I have a 12-year-old son who is on the spectrum, but on a mild side of it. Now, apart from the fact that he is on the mild side of the spectrum, he also has issues with his strength in his upper hand, and in general, he was also born preterm, like one of the parents said. Which means that it affects his overall sense of confidence because he feels he'll not be able to sort of deal with kids of his age and so on and so forth. My question was more around if we go for your suggestion, and you spoke about 3-month plan. And sorry, I joined a bit late. What is the entire procedure like? Does this involve medication? Because I'm a little apprehensive about medication. Because in India, I believe medication is not something that people kind of openly go for. Abroad, yes, that's something that people do administer medicines on kids with ASD. But I generally wanted to hear about the process that will get followed from here on, and what are the things that you want parents to take care. I heard about nutrition and certain other things and the test that you spoke about, but I'd like to hear more about that a little more.
So let's say hypotonia is the problem child has. There could be other problems. Now, one that because of that hypotonia, because he doesn't have enough muscle tone, because of that he doesn't have enough grip, or probably muscles are weak. Is that the question we're trying to address? Now, it's a metabolic disorder. Mitochondria is not healthy. Either size, quality, quantity of the mitochondria in each cell is not great. Now, I have to do everything possible to improve that mitochondria. Now, first thing first, a lot of sunlight is important for the mitochondria. A lot of darkness is important for the mitochondria. Second is hydration is important for the mitochondria. Third is phospholipids, proteins, B vitamins, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, zinc, all CoQ10, lipoic acid, all these are very, very crucial for the mitochondria. Either the same mitochondria become better in quality, or we are able to generate more mitochondria, do biogenesis of the mitochondria so that he can get strength. Now, medicine per se, there's no medicine for mitochondria. It's only supplementation. Supplement means something is missing in the body. Something should have been there, is not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We test that. We test that and see what is not there. Then we give
Sure.
some biosimilar, which should be there. Now, there's a slight difference. Now, when say medication typically means pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceutical typically means, let's say, paracetamol. Body don't understand paracetamol. It's a completely different compound for the body. But when we talk about supplements, when we talk about peptides, when we talked about stem cells, this is something body understands pretty much. This is already there in the body. Just putting into body to enhance ourselves. So certainly, I mean, and as muscle mitochondria will get better, brain mitochondria will also get better. So brain ability will also improve, muscle will also improve. Now, because child is 12, it can take a little longer for you to see a difference.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Aditi Rana, are you there? All right. Ashik Das, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, who's saying hi?
Yeah, hi. I'm Aditi Rana.
Yes, yes.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to ask that I have a son of 3.8 years old named Ansh. Ma'am, he don't have any problem like any gut problem and all, but he don't have any speech. Speech in the sense वो understand करता है सारी चीजों को, कमांड भी वो फॉलो करता है लाइक नो यस या सिट डाउन, तो वो उस कमांड को फॉलो करता है, बट एक प्रॉपर स्पीच जो होता है ना वो उसका नहीं है, और फिजिकली भी उसे एज सच कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि उसके अपर बॉडी या लोअर बॉडी में स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, ऐसा भी कुछ नहीं है, ही इज परफेक्टली नॉर्मल फिजिकल वाइज, बट हम जितना उसे बुलवाने की कोशिश करते हैं तो वो सिर्फ एक बार बोलता है, देन वो चुप हो जाता है, उसके बाद आप कितना भी बोल लो, ही नॉट से एनीथिंग.
Right. So in our experience, we have worked with almost 4,000 children, and many of them, as just we correct the nutrition, as we feed in nutrition, body gets healthy, brain gets healthy. Speech is just a consequence of that. Okay. Now, considering there's no problem, there's no else problem, if at all there's no problem, I think with time it should come. I think it with time. But if we feed him more nourishment, we prepare his body, maybe it will happen faster.
So which type of nourishment actually, because वो खाता भी है, but हाँ थोड़ा ऐसा भी नहीं है कि वो पिकी है, अगर उसे नहीं पसंद है तो वो नहीं खाएगा, पसंद है तो खाएगा, he is active, but I don't know sir, कितना टाइम मुझे वेट करना है?
ऐसा बोलना बहुत ही मुश्किल है कि कितना टाइम, वी आर नॉट गॉड, बट आपको बस ये नरिशमेंट का बात इतना मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इट्स नॉट अबाउट किस तरह का फूड, cuisine and all that. It's about what is missing in the body. हमको टेस्ट
Okay.
करना है, जानना है कि उसके अंदर क्या चाहिए, उसको सप्लीमेंट कर देना है, कुछ और प्रॉब्लम होगा तो सामने आ जाएगा। देखो सरफेस पे कई बार दिखता नहीं हर चीज,
Okay.
राइट?
Hmm.
यू ओनली सीइंग अ चैलेंज इन द स्पीच। इफ there's no else problem, there's no else problem, I'm hopeful that it just by its nature it should come, but अगर हम उसकी बॉडी को और हेल्दी बना लेंगे, probably it will come faster. That's what I'm saying, and we can test her, see where is the problem, and we can support the body.
ओके सर, ऐसा कोई टेस्ट है जो मुझे लाइक किस चीज का उसके अंदर डेफिशिएंसी है, ऐसा पर्टिकुलर मुझे कोई टेस्ट कराना चाहिए उसका?
वही तो करते हैं हम लोग। यस यस।
ओके। ओके सर। ओके सर।
थैंक यू।
Ashik Das. Okay. Tanu, you can unmute and ask.
सर गुड इवनिंग।
हाँ जी, गुड इवनिंग सर।
सर विश्वजीत बोल रहा हूँ, उसी का पापा।
ओके।
अभी तो 4 महीना चल रहा है उसी का ट्रीटमेंट का। फर्स्ट कंटिन्यूटी प्लान का फर्स्ट महीना कंप्लीट हो गया है।
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
उसका जो कुछ प्रॉब्लम जैसा है, जो जब वो अकेला हो जाता है ना, तब उसका जो मतलब जो करते हैं वो जो जैसे थोड़ा सा हाथ हैंड स्वाइपिंग करता है और कुछ आवाज निकालता है, वो किसी भी तरह कंट्रोल नहीं हो रहा है। वो जब अकेला हो जाता है ऐसे ही करता है। बाकी तो आपका जो ट्रीटमेंट पॉलिसी हो तो 100% फॉलो अप हो रहा है। हाँ, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, कभी कभी मतलब बहुत कम होता है, जो जगह पे कुछ नहीं कर सकते हम लोग, वो जगह हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा लुक चुक हो जाता है।
तो ठीक है
बाकी
विश्वजीत,
तो
आई थिंक नॉट टू वरी, और समय लगेगा, लाइक आई सेड इट्स अ लॉन्ग गेम। कुछ चीजें इंप्रूव करी होंगी, कुछ चीजें पेंडिंग रहेंगी, धीरे धीरे वो जो पेंडिंग चीजें वो भी ठीक होने लगेंगी।
एक्चुअली क्या है, हम लोग जो पेरेंट्स होता है वो एक्चुअली विजुअल कुछ चेंजेस देखना चाहते हैं। वो जगह पे चेंजेस जब कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है, तब थोड़ा सा डर लग पैदा हो रहा है अंदर। जो देखिए 10 साल हो गया उसका उम्र ऑलरेडी, इसीलिए थोड़ा सा मतलब और कोई बेटर कुछ आपके पास।
ये मैंने तो आपको अभी मैंने विश्वजीत दिखाया है आपको कि भाई बेसिक से हम चालू करते हैं, फिर हायर एंड हायर वी गेट इनटू रीजेनरेटिव मेडिसिन आल्सो। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हर किसी को चाहिए और एकदम से सब कुछ करना है। तो धैर्य रखिए, बिल्कुल भी धैर्य बना के रखिए, है ना? वैसे ही लंबी गेम है ये। तो
अच्छा,
जो भी करना होगा हम बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट कर देंगे। डोंट वरी अबाउट इट।
ओके ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Tanu, you can ask your question.
हेलो।
Yes, yes.
मैम एक्चुअली हमारा बेटा है अराउंड 8.5-9 साल का। बाकी चीजें तो मतलब ठीक है, इम्प्रूव हो रही है, बट जो हमारे को भी कंसर्न है वो ये है कि वो मतलब सोने में बहुत टाइम लेता है, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 बज जाता है उसको, और दिन में भी नहीं सोता है।
राइट। ठीक है, एक तो स्लीप में दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। एक तो है मेलाटोनिन। अगर दिन में इनफ सनलाइट नहीं मिला बच्चे को और रात के टाइम पे हमने आर्टिफिशियल लाइट में रखा, तो मेलाटोनिन डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाता है और स्लीप में प्रॉब्लम आता है। तो एक तो लाइफस्टाइल चेंज, सर्केडियन बायोलॉजी फॉलो करना है। दूसरा है कि बहुत सारे बच्चों में पैरासिटिक इन्फेक्शन ज्यादा होती है, और जैसे जैसे मून आता है दिस चिल्ड्रन बिकम मोर हाइपर, और जिससे दे विल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ डिस्टर्ब स्लीप एंड दे डोंट गेट टू स्लीप इजीली। वो सब प्रॉब्लम है। तो वी हैव टू एवेल्युएट कि भाई क्या इशू है, और जैसे हम वो इशू फिक्स करते हैं तो दैट बिकम्स नेचुरल स्लीप कम्स स्टार्ट कमिंग।
नहीं तो इसको पता करने का मतलब क्या तरीका है, कैसे करें?
सर टेस्टिंग होगा, समझना, बिहेवियर समझना पड़ेगा बच्चे का। ऐसा तो है नहीं, देखो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि सिर्फ सिर्फ स्लीप का प्रॉब्लम होगा, और भी कुछ होगा।
नहीं नहीं, ऑब्वियसली बहुत है
नहीं,
प्रॉब्लम तो।
कंसर्न तो काफी सारी है।
एग्जैक्टली। सो आपको मैंने ब्रॉडली उस स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक के ऊपर बताया कैसे करना है, टेस्ट करना है, और कंसर्न्स क्या है। अगर टीथ ग्राइंडिंग है फॉर एग्जांपल, सेल्फ बाइटिंग है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ओवर हंगर है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हमेशा भूख लगी रहती है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, स्पिटिंग है, थ्रोइंग है, पुशिंग है, तो मतलब पैरासिटिक इन्फेक्शन है।
हम्म।
और पैरासिटिक इन्फेक्शन से खराब हो जाएगा, उसको टेस्ट करने से थोड़ा मालूम चलता है।
ओके, ठीक है, फिर इसके लिए अलग से मतलब डिस्कस करें क्या, कैसे रहेगा वो?
हाँ, वो एक आपने पोल डाला है, उसमें रिस्पॉन्ड कर दो ताकि मेरा टीम आपसे कनेक्ट करके।
यू कैन आंसर द पोल, या फिर हमारी टीम ने अपना नंबर छोड़ा है, डॉक्टर मीरा ने, आप
ओके, ओके, ठीक है जी।
ठीक है, ऑल राइट।
ओके, थैंक यू।
डॉक्टर हजीरा, यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेश्चन।
Hi, good evening, doctor.
ठीक है।
Doctor, I just wanted to know, as you were talking that all the children of ASD and autism, they have some anti-inflammation or something going on in their body. So is it necessarily that all the kids will have, or is it possible the kids may not have any inflammation going on the body and the behavioral issues can be because of some sensory issues? Or is it necessary that they will have something going on, like as you said, something in the stomach, in the gut, or something like that? जरूरी है कि ये होना ही है हर बच्चे के साथ?
ओके, अगर सेंसरी इशू है तो इन्फ्लेमेशन है।
Okay, fine,
So
fine.
what is a sensory issue? We have sensory inputs which has to be integrated and we have to respond back. Now, because of the inflammation,
Right.
whole process of integration or receiving the input or processing the input is impacted. So in sensory issue में तो inflammation है ही।
Okay, so the way we find out where the inflammation is based on that,
Right.
what
So
is not there, what are the supplements that are needed.
correct. No. So first तो inflammation है कि नहीं है. So we can look at some autoimmune markers. बहुत बच्चों में even though ANA is not a very specific marker for autism, but ANA will reflect, if ANA is high, reflect autoimmunity, right?
Right. So we can do a NA profile and see for the
Right.
child.
Their CRP
Okay.
will be high, their ESR will be high, their homocysteine will be high.
Right. Okay.
Now the question is why inflammation, right?
Exactly.
Inflammatory foods like sugar, wheat, dairy can cause
Hmm.
inflammation. Infections is another major part of the problem which causes them inflammation. So
Right.
yeast infection, fungal infection, Clostridium infection, Lyme infection, Streptococcus
Right.
infection, kind of
Right.
things. Heavy metals can cause inflammation. So
Yeah,
likewise.
my son is 12 years old now, but actually he's outgrown so many things. When he was a child, he was very sick. And as you said, grinding, sleep disturbances, a lot of things, whatever you mentioned. But as he is growing, things are getting better because, we have a very broad structure for him. We have like this is the time, this is the thing. But now, it's 12, 13. I guess he's getting into his teenage mode. So he's got his own brain, own thoughts, and he's becoming manipulative. How can we channelize his energy, doctor?
No, I think there are two parts of, at least we are into the physical part of the body, which we can try to make it healthy. I think the rest is maybe more trainings.
Like more of
Channel.
physical activities, more of things. He goes for swimming, that is helping him a lot. But now, as I said, usko na chahiye to chahiye. So I know what I need. You cannot tell me what to do. That kind of an attitude he's got. He's not very verbal, but through his actions, I know he has got options. He wants to wear what he wants. He wants to eat what he wants. It's not like आप जो भी दे
What I
दो वो कर
realized,
लेगा.
Dr. Hazira, what I realized ki today we live in a affluent families, right?
Agree. Yeah.
Child has a instinct that उसका wishes पूरा होगा, और
True.
when उसका wishes होगा वो demand करेगा, because they don't think right and wrong, they think what is pleasurable for them. Now we work with a lot of
Absolutely.
picky eaters, right? And parents always say, oh my God, how will I come out of this? I simply tell the parent, if you start stopping their demands or
Right.
stop meeting their demands, that's what they have. आप एक दिन खाना नहीं दो, उस दिन जो मिलेगा वो खाएगा ना बाबा, उसको भूख लगेगा।
Say, we do that, doctor. We don't fulfill all his needs unless and until it is really appropriate. Like कोई सही चीज मांग रहा है तो ठीक है, and एक दो बार अगर वो गलत चीज मांग रहा है and we say no, the fourth time he understands he's not going to get it.
Exactly. Then I think then fantastic, I think. But
Okay,
just
doctor.
like you said, अगर speech में अभी भी deficit है, we can try covering up deficits by improving the brain health, right?
Okay.
कुछ किया जा सकता है, Because, like you said, he has grown out, which is fantastic. I mean, only 15%
Right.
of children sort of come out of it by its own nature. 80%
Okay.
then actually keep getting worse.
Dr.
So,
12,
I mean,
we diagnosed him as ASD when he was 2. He's 12. So 10 years of non-stop,
yeah.
effort from all sides, it's been a real long journey for her. I know it's still a long journey to go, but then, as they grow again, that's another phase. Every age is a different age for them. They change drastically. एक दिन जैसा दूसरा दिन नहीं होता है उन लोगों के साथ. That's the thing.
So I just would recommend कि आप explore regenerative medicine where peptides and the stem cells, they will help brain to recover faster. Thereby, अगर deficits in speech is there, maybe some
Right.
potential to recover that also.
Right. I will message your team. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Gayatri had already asked your questions, I guess.
No, ma'am, I missed it. So I'm
Yeah,
from
go,
my
go
son
on.
is just a 10-month-old.
Okay.
Currently, I'm following Siddha medication for him for the past 3 months. He's having a lot of bloating issues and visual stimming. Can I follow both Siddha and functional medicine together? My first question. And will functional medicine work for visual stimming?
Yeah, yes, it will work. Now, whether you can continue your Siddha, there's no problem. Siddha is the right Siddha. That's one. Second, we have seen a lot of the Siddha meds have lead into it. Now we will test.
Okay.
Lead is high. We'll recommend not to do it. We'll recommend.
Okay.
Then it's your choice whether to continue or not continue. But if heavy metals are high, we would certainly inform you about it. And a lot of time, see now, at some point of time, these medicines were very powerful when they were made in the right way. They turn into they turn the heavy metals into nanoparticles, and actually, they were in some ways they were. When we see parents using all Ayurveda, not that Ayurveda is bad, it's just current preparations in the Ayurveda or Siddha might not be up to the mark of that level. That is the only challenge, I think. So if we find those things are a problem, then we'll inform you. Rest, I think no problem. It's a great.
I recently got the third set of medicines from the clinic, sir, and the components what they're using is ammonium chloride, mercuric chloride, potassium nitrate. I was a bit confusing for me while seeing those ingredients. So earlier it was pure herbs and those things. In the third set of medicines, they are including all these artificial ingredients. What's your suggestion on this? Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm audible to you because what I said was I've recently got the third set of medicine from Siddha Clinic. The ingredients when I was going through those medicines mentioned some portion of ammonium chloride, mercuric chloride, potassium nitrate, arsenic trisulfide, and mercuric sulfide. Can I go ahead with this because I was a bit hesitant to give this medicine?
Yeah. I had no stretch of imagination I can comment on it. But if not rightly prepared, this can be a problem. I don't know whether rightly prepared or not. So that depends on the practitioner.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Sir, one last question. For parasite infection, do you provide deworming medicine or any natural way of treating it?
So worms are a tough infection, Gayatri. Very tough infection. So we do herbs, we do probiotics, we do antiparasitics, albendazole, tinidazole, praziquantel, all kind of things. We also use essential oils for it. So we cover a spectrum of things and whatever works. Sometimes it's very tough infection. Doesn't go easy.
Yeah, because he's facing pinworms issue. I tried multiple medications, natural herbs, following complete routine to clean everything, and still he's having one or.
Now, interesting thing you want to note here, Gayatri, when heavy metals are high, metals will not leave the body.
Oh,
parasite cannot leave the body when
oh,
heavy metal. So if Siddha is going on and unfortunately it is giving heavy metals, parasites will persist. That's the nature.
okay, okay. That's a new information for me. Thank you, doctor.
It's a body's protection mechanism actually. Parasite will ingest the heavy metal and body will allow their growth so that heavy metal doesn't do a damage to the mitochondria.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you, doctor.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so thank you all of you. We hope you found the information useful. Stay connected with us. My team has shared the link, the community link, which you can join. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with information we keep sharing. And if any one of you would like to seek our support for your child, you can connect with Dr. Meera or Anwar to know more about the program and how it works. So thank you all of you, and till then, good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.